Welcome to Searchore. For mid to large brands today, public conversation no longer lives on one platform. It happens across social networks, video platforms, forums, news pages, search engines, and countless comment sections. The real challenge is not simply knowing whether people mentioned you. The harder questions are where the issue began, whether the pattern looks organic or unusually coordinated, whether risk is spreading or cooling down, and whether the team has source evidence before making a decision. Searchore is built to turn scattered online discussion into a workflow that brand, PR, insights, and legal teams can review and act on. The first screen is the channel overview. The goal is not to jump to conclusions. It is to understand the current landscape, which public channels are connected, which ones are live, and how much volume each source contributes in the selected time window. The monitoring scope can be customized. A consumer brand may focus on short video platforms, lifestyle communities, and comment sections. A global brand may care more about YouTube, X, Reddit, Discord, and news search. Searchore is not only counting main posts. Whenever possible, it includes comments, replies, and quoted discussions, because many reputation shifts are hidden there. Next, look at volume and risk movement. Blue represents overall brand volume, while the risk signal shows discussion that needs closer review. The key is not the absolute number on one day. The key is the relationship between the lines. If both rise together, a campaign, product launch, or public event may be bringing natural debate. If overall volume stays stable while the risk signal rises, the team should pay attention immediately. A negative issue may be developing. If the risk line rises and falls repeatedly, the same complaint may be resurfacing again and again. Social platforms show what people say publicly. Search engines show what people are actively trying to find. Searchore brings Google and Baidu search interest into the workspace, so the team can see whether users are searching the brand together with a product, spokesperson, campaign, competitor, or controversy. Some risks appear first as search questions before they become obvious on social media. Overall volume is too vague to be useful by itself. The source trend view splits movement by platform, so the team can see where the discussion amplified first. If one channel rises sharply, start by reviewing the top content and comments there. If several platforms rise on the same day, the topic may have crossed platforms, and the response plan needs to be broader. The structure charts break the conversation into 3 practical views. Source share shows where the evidence comes from. Sentiment share shows whether the discussion is mostly positive, neutral, or risk-oriented. Risk share shows how much of the sample set matches risk discussion or risk terms. Together, these charts help the team decide where to inspect first. The publish time heatmap groups public content by weekday and hour. Normal user discussion usually has a natural rhythm. If a large amount of similar content appears in a very short time window, that window deserves closer inspection. The heatmap does not prove coordination by itself, but it tells reviewers exactly where to look. Before reading thousands of posts one by one, start with the word cloud. Searchore hides the monitored brand terms and surfaces the words people use around the brand. Larger words appear more often. Color gives sentiment context. If a word is large and risk-colored, it is likely a signal to review first. Clicking the term can take the team to related source evidence. Overall volume can be misleading. High volume does not always mean high risk, and low volume does not always mean safety. The sentiment trend separates positive, neutral, and risk-oriented discussion by day. What matters is whether a negative topic keeps appearing across several days. Location signals provide context for regional response. They organize public IP regions or explicit place names visible in public text. This is not personal identification or precise tracking. It helps the brand understand whether complaints or service feedback are concentrated around a region, so the right local team can check stores, distribution, logistics, or service quality first. Many issues do not start from the original post. A highly liked comment, a reply, or a quote can drive a second wave of attention. Reply chains reconstruct that microstructure. They show how original posts, parent posts, comments, and replies connect, helping the team find the nodes that truly deserve priority review. More posts do not always mean more impact. The influence view combines public interaction signals such as views, reads, likes, comments, saves, and reposts. It helps teams understand which platforms and content groups actually reached more people. Sometimes a platform has fewer posts, but much higher engagement, and that is where attention should go. The rankings answer two different questions. Activity ranking shows which sources, accounts, or sites contribute the most samples. It answers, who keeps talking? Content influence ranking shows which posts or comments carry the highest impact inside a channel. It answers, what should we review first? When negative opinions appear at scale, the hardest question is whether this is organic user feedback or coordinated amplification of the same narrative. Searchore does not make unsupported accusations. It organizes suspicious patterns for review, similar wording across many accounts, narrow posting windows, concentration on specific platforms, negative path size, and original links. The result is not a vague warning. It is reviewable evidence for internal judgment, platform reports, legal review, response preparation, and continued monitoring. The path graph makes repeated content easier to inspect. Reviewers can compare clusters, timing, representative posts, and source links instead of reading hundreds of items one by one. This is useful even when the result is clean, because a clean result also tells the team what has not appeared yet. The point is to make the review process evidence-based. External discussion is one side of the picture. Official account health is another. Account metrics show follower count, following count, post count, update status, and recent movement for owned accounts. If public risk is rising while official accounts are losing followers, the issue may already be affecting the core audience. Every chart should lead back to original evidence. Searchore is not a black box that only gives abstract conclusions. The mention list shows source, account, timestamp, text, engagement, sentiment, and topic classification for each item. If the team questions a conclusion, they can open the original link and review the exact post or comment. The evidence rows are where filtering and review happen. Reviewers can narrow the set by platform, sentiment, topic, keyword, and date. When negative comments repeat, the team can compare multiple samples and timing instead of escalating based on one dramatic screenshot. When tens of thousands of items arrive, teams do not need more noise. They need structure. Topics and sentiment can be customized to the client's business. Product quality, logistics, customer service, after-sales support, game updates, fan support, public image, or controversy themes. Each topic shows sample count, share, and the mix of positive, neutral, and risk-oriented discussion. Google search trends are useful for global and overseas demand. Teams can review monthly movement across 12, 24, 36, or 48 months and switch between all keywords or one keyword. If a keyword rises suddenly, users are actively trying to understand, compare, or verify something. Baidu Index helps teams understand Chinese search intent. You can see whether a keyword is rising or falling when it peaks, and whether demand behaves differently on PC and mobile. Long-tail terms are especially important. Many risks first appear in searches such as brand name plus complaint, product name plus overheating, brand name plus fake, or brand name plus refund. Alerts are for abnormal items that need acknowledgement or follow-up. They help operators distinguish normal monitoring from exceptions that require review, ignoring, confirmation, or action. Good alerting reduces operational noise instead of creating more noise. The final step is reporting. Leadership teams do not need to stare at dashboards every day. They need clear conclusions and evidence. Searchore can generate daily and weekly reports that summarize total volume, sentiment structure, major sources, top risk points, key topics, evidence chains, and recommended follow-up. A daily report helps explain what happened today. A weekly report helps review whether risk is spreading, which platforms matter most, and which topics need continued attention. To sum up, Searchore is not a single-point monitoring tool. It is an end-to-end workflow for finding issues, locating sources, extracting evidence, and supporting action. It brings multi-platform posts, comments, engagement, search trends, alerts, and reports into one system, so brands can hear clearly, focus on what matters, preserve the evidence, and make better decisions.